So next we have, while the slides are changing, we have Freek van Krevel from the Netherlands. Freek, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Am I understandable?
So far.
I hope I'm... Yeah, okay. Now I hope that some of you can see my slides. If you can go to the next slide immediately, then I will then I will tell you something about our national experience. This is the eIDAS landscape, the various choices that we have to connect to other countries, and we have succeeded so far in connecting to Belgium, Germany, Austria, and a number of other countries that use the PEPS solution. I will talk you a little bit through how we did it and our experience in that. Can I see the next slide, please? Because I understand that you're all clued up with middleware and PEPs. This is our portal where you can see it. I'm not giving the demo, I just give you the link so that you can see for yourself and click on it. If you go to Germany, please make sure you install the German Personal Ausweis app so that it's not so that the app works properly and the connection also. If you do not upload the app, then of course the connection does not work. Then you have also the experience how this connection works. If you can go to the next slide, please. Then you see also what we did with Germany. Because eIDAS is not in place or will be in place as from the 18th of September 2018, we had to make a sort of provisional arrangement with our German colleagues. We did this very pragmatically, so my ministry is now, how can I say that, accredited as a kind of German administration. I mean, this also shows the good interworking between various administrations to get the thing working, to get the pilot being done. So this is what you see when you are entering with your German eID our services. If I can go to the next slide. We have also catered for other colleagues here in the Netherlands. For instance, the Central Traffic Fine Collection Agency, if I can translate it in this way properly. You can see a red light and a car. We have now connected this service and it's accessible for Belgian eIDs. So if it happened that you're Belgium, you can, and if it happens that you are getting a fine, you can access that service and see the beautiful picture with your, with the situation you see in front of you. And next slide, and then it's also possible to pay with the various solutions for this. So we have got also the first experience with how users go through this. And if I go to the next slide, you see here a little bit of text. Well, so far our experience is as soon as we have established a connection, and having said this connection to be established is not always easy. It takes some time, but as soon as it works, and the last point is that it really works because on both sides, experts, architects, ICT professionals are really doing all the efforts they can do to connect to each other. Once it works, the services are very enthusiastic. Like now, our experience with Belgian farmers, we have also this on our portal, and we see a huge increase of users. Where we were talking about the maximum impact. I mean, there are not a lot of Belgian farmers in the Netherlands, about 100, but once this service is established, now nearly all 100 are connected. Same is valid with this Central Traffic Fine Collection Agency. See, once we have it on our portal, now you can see we have 250 logins within the 2 months. Also news is that there is a European pilot that our ministry does in close connection with Connectis, where at least 30 municipalities are now already connected to the PEPs. For instance, I have here one municipality called Urk, and soon this will be enhanced to about 80 or 90 or 100 municipalities. Really, it's really a steep curve. And there's also another pilot. The results will become available later this year, together with other brokers in our system. And I will get back in a minute about the brokers and how we implemented this in the Netherlands, how the architecture looks like. This together with the brokers KPN and Digidentity and Connectus as well. There we will connect a few other agencies. Now, what we see so far is, now, besides the enthusiasm, also the help desk is now facing less calls because it's done digitally, and also in terms of savings, this should also be mentioned because this is in the end why we did it, next to the internal market, of course. So these are also there. And what we also see in our experience is that users they connect the, how can I say that? They connect the eIDAS story on their own experience. For instance, a local municipality says, yeah, we have a lot of experts in our municipality, and for them it is beneficial. Okay, if I go to the next slide. Then you see how the national implementation look like. Now, the eIDAS node, oh, yeah, that one, exactly. No, the one with the yellow, yeah, exactly, thank you. The yellow one are the eIDAS nodes or solutions in your countries, or will be soon available in your countries. And besides that, you see notified eIDs. These are from other European countries. Now, once you enter in the Netherlands, you come to a node and a translator. This translates attributes to a Dutch format. And we have experience, or we will get experience with the personal identification number, because it is intended that this will also be connected to the solution, so that you will retrieve a personal identification number if it exists or not. I will get back to that later. And then with this information, it is sent through a broker. A broker might sound cryptical for some of you. The Dutch system exists of the Dutch eID system will become available for multiple providers, in which we have brokers. It's called e-herkenning or e-recognition or eIDAS. In which private brokers play an important role. They cater for a standard connection between the eIDAS node and a public service. So this is also a way for all these parties to work together. It is not always easy, I have to say, because you have to make good agreements so that at the end of the day, the notified eID from a foreign country can be connected through all these segments to the public service. So it needs proper arrangements, agreements, and service level agreements, etc. If I can go to the next slide, then I will give you some more information about our personal identification number. Let's say our register contains now 3.5 million non-inhabitants and 70 million inhabitants, including foreigners living in the Netherlands. And what we will do is that this connector, BSN is the equivalent for personal identification number in Dutch. It checks if the data set already exists in our records. Now, three possibilities. There is a match, there is no match, or there are multiple matches. Now, if there is no match, now people need to be registered. If there is a match, now it's easier. The personal identification number is sent to the Dutch connector, and if there are multiple matches, yeah, we have to suspend the process, and we need a manual process to really verify if it is really the person. Now, you can imagine imagine the situation where, yeah, there are common names. And also having the same birth dates, etc. This is something to be manually solved. I think this is, let's say, in a nutshell, something about our implementation. If I can go to the next slide. then there is nothing left for thank you, and these are my personal details so that you can connect me in case there are any questions. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Freek. Okay, looking at the time, we'll move on quite quickly. So now we're going to look at sort of actual use cases from within the EC and from the private sector. So we move on to Lucinio on eHealth.